Hey YouTube, it's me Corey. So as some of you guys might know, I just recently had some legal problems and I just recently had my first jail experience. I'm 31 years old and this is the first time in my 31 years that I've been to jail. Other than that, I've been on probation once when I was 19 for a misdemeanor, but this is my first felony and my first time in jail. So let me talk to you guys about it. Um, I got arrested for second degree attempted home invasion. What happened was me and my mom were having an argument that lasted quite a while. And I was in the hospital telling them I was violent and I needed inpatient, but they refused to give me the inpatient. Instead, they kicked me out on the street at 1:30 in the morning with nowhere to go, with me feeling violent and really no help at all. No medication, no nothing. Um, so I went to my mom's house basically and tried to kick the door in, and that's why I got arrested. I got arrested Saturday morning, Saturday, November 5th. It was Saturday, November 5th at about 2:20 a.m. is when I got to the jail. And I was in the first night I was in booking pretty much all night. I spent the whole night in booking. They gave us breakfast in booking. I slept there and everything. And then the first, after that, the next 3 or 4 nights, 3 or 4 days, probably like 4 or 5 days were just really, really hard on me. Just really, really hard on me. I mean, this is by far the most difficult thing I've ever done in my life. I've done some stupid shit and I've had a lot of fuck ups in my life, but this was by far the worst, you guys. I could barely survive this 10 days in jail. So the first 2 nights, I'm Saturday all day in the daytime, and Sunday all day Sunday, Saturday night and Sunday night. I'm in this cell with like 4 or 5 other guys, and we're all just getting there. And these guys were pissed at me because of my snoring. Because when I sleep, I got that sleep apnea bullshit. So when I sleep, I snore like really fucking loud, and it is hard to deal with. But I can't help it. There's nothing I can do about that. You know what I mean? So to get the CPAP machine is actually really difficult. You got to go through a sleep study, and you got to find transportation to the sleep study because they always want to send me to this place where no buses go, and it's just really frustrating. So I can't really get the CPAP machine, even though I really need one. But anyway, so these guys are just pissed at me. I mean, they're banging. There's like this metal bunk on above me, and they're banging and banging on that all night to wake me up to get me to stop snoring. So I had to deal with that periodically throughout the night. I mean, these guys were just pissed, and I was starting to lose my shit. So on Monday morning, what I did was I decided to charge into the door head first, and it hurt like a motherfucker. I mean, my head was hurting, my whole spine was hurting because I was trying to snap my neck. And so what they did was they transferred me to a suicide cell. I think it's called like ALU unit or something like that, protective custody. I don't know. Maybe someone who's been to Kent County Jail knows. Um, and it it's protective custody. It's segregation or whatever, you know. You're in a one-man cell 24 hours a day, no communication with the outside except for the officers and the mental health workers. And it was really rough being in that cell. I was really starting to lose my shit. All 4 days I was in there, I was having a lot of crying spells throughout the day, just bawling my eyes out, not being able to talk to anybody on the outside, not being able to talk to Mike, not being able to talk to my grandma, you know, not having anybody else's phone number, so I couldn't call nobody else. So just really hard. And on top of that, like there's some crazy ass people in this part of the jail. Like I'd say in jail, I'd say about 60 to 70% of us probably have bipolar or schizophrenia or ADHD or a combination of those things. And it really shows because the jail, I used to think jails forced people to take medication, but that's actually not true. It turns out it's actually optional. So a lot of these guys are actually choosing to go without medication. And in this part of the cell, this protective custody. There's people screaming and banging. I mean, this goes on all day and all night. You don't stop hearing it. It's really hard. It's really hard. And mind you, the whole 10 days I was in there, I got no medication for schizoaffective disorder. I'm supposed to be on medication every day for schizoaffective disorder that prevents me from hearing too many voices. And I was denied that medication the entire time I was in there. So I got voices going 100 miles an hour that I'm hearing that sound like real people. Then I've got other people in the jail slamming and banging shit. So I mean, it's a lot to deal with, you guys. It's a lot to. But after being in that cell for 4 days, they transferred me to a regular pod. When they transferred me to the regular pod, it got much better. It was like a general population pod, with a day room and stuff like that. And I was in quarantine. So, I spent most of my time, in my cell, but I was allowed 1 hour of day room time a day, which was more than I was getting in the protective custody. So that right there just absolutely made my week, made me a lot more hopeful, So, the only problem in that was an officer who didn't out from like thing because he gave me my hour a day outside my cell. He refused to give it to me. So those days he was working, I was in my cell the entire time. Other than that, overall it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. All the inmates were really cool with me. I left them alone and they left me alone. And a couple of them made small talk with me, which I really appreciated, Most of the staff was really cool. I mean, as long as you're nice to them, they'll be nice to you, As long as you cooperate, they're cool with you, So, I mean, the officers were all pretty cool to me. The mental health staff were all really cool to me. The biggest problem was not getting my medication. I was really pissed that I couldn't get no medication. So, yeah. After 10 days, my lawyer said I was going to have to be in there for 4 to 6 more weeks, but after 10 days, I got let out on PR bond. I went to court Tuesday, August 15th at 9:30 in the morning and saw Judge Ayub. And Judge Ayub, with the help of my lawyer, Marissa Barkma, Judge Ayub granted me the PR bond. So I was able to get out Tuesday afternoon, and I was just never been happier in my life. When I got released, I've never been happier in my life. So right now I am released on bond conditions. I'm not on probation yet because I still got to be sentenced. But I'm on bond conditions, which is just as serious as being on probation. It's very strict. I got a drug test, so I am completely clean now. No drugs or alcohol, including alcohol and marijuana. So that's the situation. I got to follow my bond conditions. The next time I'm in court isn't going to be till February, and that's not sentencing. But then like 2 or 3 months after that, I do get sentenced. So I won't even be getting sentenced till next spring. So this whole case is going to be really long and drawn out, and I'm hoping I only get a year of probation, but it could be more than that. So I gotta expect for the worst. I gotta expect maybe plan on 2 or 3 years of probation to get my mind mentally prepared for that. So that's the situation, you guys. If you guys have any other questions about the jail experience, just let me know. All right, peace out, guys.